Hey there guys, welcome to Dino's Vault once again. This is the day both you and I have been waiting for. The first service of my sweet little monster, the 390. Yes, I've gone past 1000 kilometers mark and I brought it here at the KTM Kompally service station. One of the largest service stations in Hyderabad, has nearly 6 service bays I believe, and it's owned by a very good friend of mine, Mr. Naveen. Very polite and kind and humble person, and also a thoroughbred auto enthusiast who wishes to go the extra mile in satisfying the customers. That's really great. So I've brought it for my first service. In this video I'll be talking about whatever little issues I faced as one of the first Duke 390 customers, and how KTM helped me sort out those issues. Apart from that, I'll also be sharing some little tips or maintenance tips which is already mentioned in the user manual, but we hardly get time to go through the manual, so I'll try and mention that in this video. Hope it will be useful to you guys. And I'll also try my first impression or ownership review based on this 30 days ownership. It's not a long-term review, it's just a short-term review as to how I feel about the bike, how it fares in practical city conditions, because I've been using it on a day-to-day basis. So without further ado, let's go ahead with this video. First of all, I'd request all of you to watch my detailed first ride review of the Duke 390 that is already playing on the channel, where I talk about almost everything you need to know about this bike. You can watch that video by following the link appearing on the screen currently. Now, coming to my ownership review, I'll try and divide this into separate sections such that it is easier for you to understand. First of all, I'll share any minor niggles or issues that I faced with my bike. Secondly, I'll share my short-term ownership review of this bike since I've been using it for my daily commutes over the past month. And then finally, I'll quickly share some maintenance tips to help you maintain your mean machine in perfect shape. So let's get started, guys. Now first, let's look at the issues that I faced with my new Duke 390. The first issue that I faced right from the day I bought this bike was the noise emerging out of the radiator while I was riding the bike. The noise was really annoying and I couldn't really figure out what actually went wrong. I took my bike to the KTM Kompally service center here in Hyderabad, which is the nearest KTM service station from my place. Now it's the same place where I've brought my bike for the first service here. Mr. Kiran, who's the service head here, helped me identify the actual issue and solve the issue for me. The sound or noise was actually emanating from the radiator canister that is placed inside the left tank panel. Actually, there is a rubber mount for the canister, but the canister had come out of its rubber mount and was rattling all over the place. So that was one reason for the sound. Also, the radiator cover was not fitted appropriately, so it had to be removed and refitted appropriately to ensure it wasn't vibrating while the engine was running. Also, since the bike was brand new, we also had the chain noise coming out, so the chain had to be lubricated for smoother functioning. Now all this ensured that the noise disappeared and the bike was back to being its usual smooth self. My sincere thanks to the KTM service team for patiently resolving my issue. Secondly, there was a glitch with the digital console wherein even if I reset the date and time, it wasn't getting updated. Also, the headlight used to turn off for 2 to 3 seconds. Maybe it was the setting it came along with from the factory. Now, both these issues were sorted out with the new software update that KTM rolled out using their factory tool. Last week, I got a call from Begumpet KTM to get the software update for my bike's TFT console as well as the headlamp. Now, once I got it done, the date and time could be reset accordingly. Also, the headlamp flickering issue has now been resolved. The KTM service person also informed me that future software upgrades are planned to fix any bugs or issues that might be encountered by the owners. So those were the issues that I faced being one of the first 2017 Duke 390 owners, and I'm thankful to KTM for helping me sort them out. Now coming to the user experience or ownership experience of my new Duke 390, I use my bike for daily commutes and I'm always running across various showrooms all over the city, and using this bike in what could possibly be one of the hottest summers experienced here in Hyderabad was like an acid test for the bike as well as for me. Thankfully, even with me riding predominantly in horrible city traffic with my daily commutes spanning over a distance of around 70 kilometers up and down, the bike never did stall. Now, mileage wise, surprisingly, I'm getting more than 25 kmpl as per my rough estimation. Now, though I never did particularly check for mileage. Now, that might be in part due to me trying to ride it within its limits because of its running in period time frame. And then of course you might be wondering about the heating issue. So here comes the answer to that. So long as you are wearing shoes, you don't really feel the heat because the radiator fan actually blows the hot air downwards towards your feet rather than blowing it sideways on your legs. Therefore, if you happen to be wearing sandals or chappals, be rest assured that your feet would feel that they are being roasted in a shawarma grill. But so long as you are wearing shoes, you don't really feel a thing on your feet. So that was about the heating issues that you guys were inquiring about. Now finally, coming to the maintenance tips that are clearly mentioned in the user manual, I just wanted to mention it in this video just to make things easy for you. So first of all, we need to use RON 91 fuel for this bike, which is what is recommended by the company. Now you need not worry about that because as per the new regulation norms, almost all the major fuel stations supplying regular unleaded fuel come with RON 91 rating, which meets the criteria for this bike. Secondly, we are not supposed to rev the engine beyond 7,500 RPM for the first 1,000 kilometers, which actually is part of the running in period ethics. Thirdly, now since this bike comes with an O-ring chain, we need to lubricate the chain every 500 kilometers with OKS spray. If you are confused or too busy to do it yourself, you can take it to the nearest service center and they'll do that for you with some nominal charges. Now this ensures that there is no chain noise apparent and results in offering a smoother ride overall. Now coming to point number 4, when you start your bike for the first time each day, let it idle for 2 minutes before you actually take it out for a ride. Now this allows the engine and the engine oil to heat up and be ready to get going. Now coming to point number 5, always maintain at least 2.5 liters or more fuel in your bike, which means always ensure that the fuel gauge shows 2 bars or more in the TFT display. Now don't wait till the low fuel warning message shows up on the TFT console because running the bike with low fuel would result in the injectors getting spoiled soon. Now coming to point number 6, avoid sudden revving, over revving, clutch riding or riding with your foot resting on the brake lever. Point number 7 is do not clean or water wash the vehicle using a strong water jet as it may damage the electrical components and radiator fins. Point number 8 is avoid adding any electrical gadget that may disturb the existing engine management system. Coming to point number 9, do not allow or opt for ECU remapping by any external source or agency. Now point number 10 is never ride the bike without an air filter or with a non-recommended aftermarket air filter since dust or dirt can creep in. Now point number 11 is to maintain appropriate tire pressure. The recommended setting is 28.5 psi for the front tire and 32 psi for the rear tire if you're riding with a pillion. If you're riding solo, it is 28.5 psi for the front as well as the rear tire. Maintaining appropriate tire pressure ensures better braking performance overall even with ABS on board. So that was about the maintenance and usage tips. Now here are the periodic checks that can be done by you, or you can take it to the nearest KTM service center and they'll do the needful for you. It's better to keep an eye on these levels such that you can ensure that your beast is in prime form always. Now point number 1 here is engine oil level inspection. The oil level must be between the lower and upper marks provided as you can see here in this clip. Point number 2 is that the coolant level in the reservoir tank should be between minimum and maximum level as you can see in this clip here. Point number 3 is that the chain tension should be 5 to 7 millimeters. So ensure or double check with the service team that the drive chain alignment and tension is rightly set. Point number 4 is to keep an eye on the front brake fluid level and top up the brake fluid once it reaches the minimum mark. Similarly, watch the rear brake fluid as you can see here in this clip and add the fluid once it reaches the minimum mark. Point number 5 is disc pad wear inspection, which is also very important. As you can see here in this clip, if the lining thickness of the disc pad is less than 1 millimeter, it means the disc pad needs to be changed. Apart from this, most of you are already aware that we need to clean the air filter periodically to ensure that the engine stays nice and refined. So this is all that I wanted to share with you guys. Thanks to Naveen, my friend and owner of KTM Kompalli, for allowing me to shoot this video at their workshop. He's trying his best to provide the best experience possible to all his customers, and the awards that you see here, I believe, speak for themselves. Well, that's about it for now. Hope you found this video useful. Until next time, this is Dino saying ciao. Take care, God bless, and ride safe.